Okay, once so the tricky part was to get the balloon sort of encased in a protective cover. Cardboard may not be the best thing, but that's the only thing I've figured out so far. And the rest of it is just basically to lock the moving parts into position, and then to cover the thing with tarp, and then tidy up the site. So I'll go ahead and do that. So the first step would be to bring. What is the first step? First step will be to make the main pivoting piece horizontal, which will require raising the balloon a little bit, and the counterweights will go down a little bit. And then I will use the stand to kind of lock it in place there, and then cover it with tarps. I forgot to remove the counterweights from the last kid that was here. So it actually is a little bit easier if you make the counterweight a little bit too light, so it wants, or no, yes, the counterweight should be light enough so that the basket wants to rest on its own, and then that way it'll sit on the stand correctly. Removing the little safety stand and getting the overnight stand. Okay, so I'm just wrapping the descent lines for the solo mode around the top of the stand, just to kind of lock it in place so it doesn't fall over, like if for some reason the main cross piece lifts up a little bit. Little stand from front, I just store it behind the basket. Okay, so basically it's horizontal now, and that seems to be the most convenient position I've found for covering it with tarps. I generally like to do the front first, well, the windward facing side first, and then that kind of blocks the wind to make the remaining tarp easier. So right now the wind is coming from the southwest, which is the front, so it's blowing onto that tarp basically. That's why I'm doing that one. Anything you want to stow inside, do it now before you cover it. This tarp is just barely big enough to cover it side to side. That's another reason why the horizontal position works best. I forgot to unplug the blower earlier, so I just unplugged the extension cord. I like to do that as well as just turning it on. So now it's just I'm just gonna clamp up the seams or loose edges of the tarp, and then I'm going to use the ladders to weight down the edges, and that way I don't have to find another place to put the ladders, but they're functional overnight as well as during the setup and tear. This last ladder is holding up the camera, so I'm going to go ahead and put the last ladder down there and stow the PVC tube wherever it is. Can't even see it. There it is. And hold on. Also, when working with the tarp, it is helpful to leverage the wind and not try to go against it. I keep forgetting that. But something this size, the wind can actually help if you use it sort of like trying to catch it, use the tarp like a sail to try to catch the wind. Just a note for future reference, it looks like the tarp was about 12 feet by 20 feet for the back side and probably 12 by 12 for the front end.